Hi friends, it's Miss Long. We're going to start today by taking some notes together. First thing you need to do is turn to the very first page of your table of contents and write down today's date, 9/4. The title for our assignment or our notes today is Abiotic and Biotic Notes. And then you need to make sure you have noted that it is page 1. If you need to pause this video to update your table of contents, go ahead and do that now. If not, you can move with me to the very first page in your notebook. So you're going to end up gluing your notes for today here. Hopefully you have this note sheet with you on your desk because this is where we're going to start. So you have a couple of things that you just need to know before we can get started. Okay, so we're going to start with the term organisms. If you'll read on your sheet with me, an organism displays all of the characteristics of life and is classified as a living thing. So today, hopefully that's made you realize we're going to talk about living things. An ecosystem is the second term that we're going to take note of. An ecosystem is a community of organisms that interact and depend on non-living factors of the environment. Okay, so at this point, we've seen the phrase living things and non-living. So hopefully that gives you a hint at what's coming your way. We're going to start in this first box right here under the term abiotic factors. Okay, we know by our boxes on either side that we are about to write the definition. So the first thing you need to do in this box is write kind of a hint phrase for yourself. So we're going to write it up in this top box. And I'm going to write equals without life. Without life. Okay, so that should be the first thing you think of when you see the term abiotic. Abiotic means without life. Okay, but we're going to take it one step further than that. We are going to do a little bit of definition work. So in that box where the definition is, I want you to write not living. Not living. Okay, but what does that mean? It seems really clear, but we're going to take it even further. Something that is not living and never has been alive. And it will never be alive. So an abiotic factor is something without life that is not living. It never has been alive, and it never will be alive. Oops, I left a word out, guys. It never will be alive. Let's do some examples down at the bottom in our notes box down here. So we're going to do this in a couple different categories. The first one I want you to write is air. So what is included in the category air? First up, atmospheric gas and also wind. Okay, atmospheric gas and wind. Those are the things we're going to include here. Second category is going to say water. Okay, what is included in water? Well, rain, humidity. If you've never heard the word humidity before, it is the moisture that's in the air around us. So humidity is the thing that makes my hair go crazy on a rainy day or on a day where it has rained and the air is just kind of dense and heavy. What else is included? Ice, clouds. We know clouds have water vapor in them. And then some obvious things like oceans, rivers, lakes, ponds, creeks. And we're going to use this little abbreviation here for the word etc. And that just means that this list is not exhaustive. There are other things that fall into the water category. We're just not going to write them today because we don't have room. Our last category is kind of a long category name, soil/rock/mineral. What is included there? First up, sand. Salt. Salt's a mineral. Granite is a type of rock. A lot of you might have granite counters at your house, like in the kitchen. Gold. Dirt. And then again, we're going to use the term etc. And I'm going to add one more category. I'm sorry, it's going to go out of the box. There's only going to be one thing in it. Light. Okay, so in this category, we're going to include the sun. Okay, and here's a bonus for you. Stars. If you know anything about the solar system, I'm sure you know that the sun is actually just a star. The sun is the biggest star of them all. All right, now that we've done that section, we're going to move up to biotic. So if abiotic means without life, you can guess that biotic means with life. With life. All right. So, of course, we're going to define this again. First up, this means living. Okay, but of course we're going to qualify that like we did on the other side. Something that has once lived. Okay, which means it is dead. Okay, that is still a biotic factor because it once lived. It came from a living thing. So obviously the first thing you think of here are like babies. A baby turtle, a baby bird comes from a living thing. But I'm talking about something like this. This table is wood. That wood came from a living thing. The wood came from a tree, and the tree was alive. So that makes the table biotic. And then we are going to add, just for clarification's sake, that this includes all plants and animals. Oops. A-N-M-I-A-L-S. Animals. All right. And now we are ready for examples down at the bottom. We only have 2 categories for this example box. We're going to start with plants. Plants. Okay, this is where that abbreviation etc. from this side is going to come in handy because obviously we're not going to list all the plants, but we can list a few of them. So we're going to start with grass, trees, logs, which obviously come from trees, flowers, dead flowers, leaves, and even fruits and vegetables. And we're going to put etc. so that we remember this list is bigger than what we've written here. Our next category for examples is going to be animals. Y'all already know I'm going to start with cats, elephants, crickets, even though they're insects, dead mice, you, which you should note means you're a human being. Fish, steak. Okay, guys, so steak is something you eat, right? But it comes from a cow, and that cow was once alive. So that makes steak biotic. Birds, worms, and here we go again, etc. Because we know that this list is bigger than what we have written here. Once you guys are finished taking notes, you are going to use your glue stick from your universal pencil pouch, and you are going to get this note sheet glued on page 1. Now, if your notebook is like mine, you are probably going to have to come back down here to the bottom once you have it glued in and rewrite your 1 because your paper is going to cover it up. If you have a skinnier notebook and your paper doesn't fit this way, I suggest that you turn it this way and fold the tail in. Okay, you are going to actually do this part, the back of your page, on canvas. So there's no need to write on it right here. All right, guys, get this glued in and you can move on to the next section in our module today under 9.4.